code for the Killer Sudoku, and we did not criticize. There was no critique of the AI code, but that's what's going to happen in today's tutorial. We're going to critique it, we're going to improve it, and we're going to get it working. Now, before we begin, I'd like to implore you to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments, because the more people subscribe, the more this content gets pushed out to more viewers. Those viewers can join this growing community. They'll post their tips and tricks, or they'll post requests, which I'll then personally review, and then I'll share with everyone. I'd like to thank everybody who subscribed so far this month. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and keep it up. Let's get on to the show. Okay, so as you see the intro, it says optimize any puzzle game. So let's begin. So if you remember yesterday, as I said before, we used the Qwen3 instruct model to generate code for a puzzle called Killer Sudoku. Now, in that tutorial, I explained what Killer Sudoku is, how to how it's supposed to be played, and it's basically Sudoku, but it's more there's more math involved in it. So as you saw, it looked pretty, but it did not actually work. So we're gonna get to work today. So the code is here. So this was the original one for the previous article, and then the one during the live stream, we created this one. They were almost identical. In fact, the one generated during the live stream was actually worse than the previous one, because at least the previous one would actually load. It would just know the game would not start. This one would not even load. I guess there was some JavaScript memory error, memory leaks or something. So you can see I did create an optimized version, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So if basically just a quick recap of what Killer Sudoku is. It's a variant which requires complex logic to handle mathematical cage and some constraints. So the gist of it is that you're going to have obviously it's going to be a grid, and the descriptions over here, as you can see, it's going to be a memory layout for the cell data. So one of the fixes we're going to do is we're going to use a flat array. And then for event management, this is where you click, or maybe somebody enters something for inputs. So again, we're going to do delegation. One of the problems with especially if you're a beginner developer in JavaScript, is that if you're loading some things dynamically, meaning you're not refreshing the page, sometimes what happens is the way JavaScript works is you'll be stuck. If you remove something, you add something, that one will not have any events to it. So that's why you always need to delegate. So I'll show you that as well, and I'll explain it further. And then for the puzzle creation, the logic to solvable cages, remember none of the stuff previously AI generated did not work. So we're going to make it deterministic. That's logic. So and then for the DOM interface, we're going to update the nodes and make them specifically targeted. And so the way it was done before, we're going to basically what I'm saying, we're going to optimize the code, use less code, and just clean things up. We use more loops, those type of things. Very simple things for developers to get into. So as you guys know, I use Linux, but you can use any operating system or distribution you want. I use Fedora Linux because it's really, I found it very handful for being a developer, which I am. Okay, so yeah, so you can work in a terminal if you want, or you can use whatever your favorite IDE is. I'm just going to use Polygini today because some of you guys requested I use IDEs, so I'll do it. It's a it's actually called a lightweight IDE, and I'll show you how to implement the flat array, the event delegation, and the puzzle generation, and optimize all these optimizations. And obviously you want some validation, system checks for standard rules alongside mathematical cage tools simultaneously. I'll show you that as well. Cross-platform development tools. I said you can, whether you're on Windows, if you want to specifically be a more Linux away, you can use the Windows, I think it's called Windows System Linux development. If you're on a Mac, you already have a native terminal. But Windows Microsoft has done a pretty good job with their terminal, so this shouldn't be a problem. All right, so The code. So basically, so you see, I got it actually to work. You see, it basically looks like a regular Sudoku, but as I said before, the math is a little bit more complex than the usual Sudoku. So this is the demo. This is a live demo. For example, if I can click here, I can just type in. I just type in the number 5 as an example, just to show you that it does work. Okay. All right, and then here's screenshot. So this was the previous code. You see, the previous code looked very pretty, but it did not work. So I just said I optimized it and actually got it to actually render and actually work. Okay. All right. So this is live streamed right now. So hopefully it's working, because for the past 2 days I've had issues. Not 2 days. Yeah, about 2 days I've had issues with either it was YouTube. No, it was actually always YouTube. Yeah, no, it was YouTube where it cut out after 9 minutes, the live stream, so that was annoying. So I uploaded a video when I was doing a night stream. So the video is up. It should be up by now. You guys can go watch that. It was about the LTX2 video. I was trying to get it to work for the first time. I was just doing everything live. I hadn't done any testing or anything. It was just a fun tutorial. And then I think yesterday had an issue with Odyssey. It cut out as well. So hopefully there will be no more cutting out at all. And I think another reason is because the temperature has warmed up. So maybe all the snow is turning into ice, so it's affecting the internet. So I might have to put the boost for the Starlink internet there. All right. So other than I don't want to take too much of your time, so let's get started here. So what I'm going to do is, oh, you know what? I should actually use. I'm not sure what I should actually use Meld. The problem is I can't fit Meld in here. So as I said, so we took a look at the code yesterday. It was, as you guys saw, it did not work. So instead of that, I'm just going to open up the optimized code so I don't waste your time. And I'm just going to open up in Guinea here. That's the IDE as I promised. And let's go take a look at it. Make sure you can see this. I think you can see that. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so the usual doc type, HTML here, then the viewport. This in case you're on a small device like a phone. So the initial scale is set to 1. This is variables for styling. So styling is subjective. So I'm not going to focus on this because I said styling is subjective. You style it the way you want. If you want this code, let me know. I can post it somewhere for you guys. But yeah, styling, you can style it any way you want. I've done so many CSS tutorials as well. So there's even a playlist just for CSS, so you can go watch that. So as you can see here, this is just a heading. It says Killer Sudoku AI. And then the grid here, where the grid will be drawn, and only your buttons here, the new game, and then check logic. And then I decided to use a class. I think I haven't generated a tutorial where I use Java classes in quite a while. So there we go. I actually have a JavaScript course on jumboshop.com, and yeah, I haven't done anything like that for a while. So we see we grab the grid container. We have one for the solved puzzle and one for the player, and then the cages and the selected and the initialize. So initialize a function, we just get we just create the solved. We just add the values to that, what I'm trying. So and then we render and then set up event listeners. I'll go over that in a second. So the first thing we did was backtracking solver for initial valid board, and then we have this code here. You see, I just use simple for loops and some if statements, just very simple logic. This is called a nested loop. And then here we have the procedural case generation based on a solved grid. So we have to go through all of them, make sure they're correct. So that's what we did here. And then to render, obviously it's very simple. We just create a bunch of cells and put numbers in there, or some numbers, and that's it. So basically what I'm saying is that you need to have the answer before you generate the cell. So that way when somebody wants to solve it, you're not wasting time. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so then after that, you can see we have reset if there's any errors. We have the checks cage sums. Remember, they have to match the solved. And then there's the basic Sudoku validation. We just make sure we check for duplicates. Just make sure, and then temporary move to check for others. Yeah, so very simple logic here, and that's it. It will say congratulations, you have solved the Killer Sudoku. And I think I might tweak this a little bit, and I might put it up on ojambo.com under fun. Right, fun is only the which one is there right now? There's only the fitness calendar, so I might add that as well. And then very simple. We use the confirm, start a new puzzle. If it is, you just reload the page. That's it. It's very simple. I said I can tweak this just to reload that one without reloading the page. There's so many things you can do as well. And then when the person clicks check logic to validate the player's solution. So that's our code right there. Very simple, very different from, and look at the number of lines. Oh, I forgot to show you guys this. Let me show you this. You see how many lines total? 317. Now let's check the one that AI generated. So we'll check the one that was generated yesterday during the live stream. Let me see how many lines do you think it's going to be? Right, okay, so let me go down. You see that one was 603 lines. And the one for the article that was previously generated, that might even be longer. No, it's actually shorter. Ironically, it's 569 lines. But as I said, none of them did work, so yeah, it doesn't matter. All right, so with that said, now let's go and check this out. So what I'm going to do is this should work in a browser because I'm not using any CDNs. So I can simply just drag and drop into a browser. I'm not too sure if I like this browser, but I'm going to try this browser. It should work. So I'll just drag and drop it. The reason this browser doesn't support like OpenGL and stuff, so it's going to beat up my GPU, not my GPU, my my system resources. So if it's taking too long, I might have to shut it down. Let me actually bring up the system resources and see what is going on here. Yeah, so I'll put this here just to pay attention to this. I should actually have reviewed this before. Okay, so I'm going to check the CPUs because this one I said it's not optimized pretty well. So I'll open up the optimized file. Over here, looks like I don't see too much of a difference. So here it is. You see, we can create a new game. Pay attention. You see this one says 17. If I click new game, you see this is the confirmation dialog. I said okay, and you see it changed. So obviously I've already shown these guys to you. So I can click here and put a number. So I'll say 4. You see that? And then if I click check logic, it says keep going, no errors found so far, right? So that's it. Very, very simple. And as I promised, this tutorial is probably going to be my fastest live stream ever. All right, as I said, I don't want to waste too much of your time, unless you guys want to see me watch me play Sudoku. So instead, what I'm going to do is let's finish this up quickly. So if you want to take your skills further, I have books. You can search for Edward of Jumbo on Amazon, or you can click the link. The link is also in the description. I also have courses on ojamboshop.com. I'm going to revamp ojamboshop.com. I'm not sure what idea is yet, so just pay tuned for that. The courses will stay up for until the last person has been about a year or so. So don't worry about that. That's still going anywhere. You can still sign up before the revamp. And but I don't know what I'll do yet, but I'll let you guys know. And then if you're ready for one-on-one tutorials, you can contact me on ojambo.com/contact, or if you want consultation service, that's ojamboservices.com/contact. Okay, then I also have some other recommended resources. I have my first novelette. It's called The Algorithmic Serpent. It's a psychological thriller. It's about a scientist who creates an AI system and loses his mind, so he has to regain control of his mind and the AI system. As you can see, this is the back. This is the paperback version. I do have an ebook version as well, which I'll explain in a few minutes. My latest, greatest one is this one, the Recession Business Blueprint. That's a guide to help you start a business during the recession. We're in a recession right now. I was actually talking to my partner yesterday, and we're discussing other business opportunities. And what I was telling him is, for example, like no AI company right now makes any money. So I'm saying is that if you come up with an idea or a process to make things, I guess, more consumer friendly or something, maybe hire a team, you could be the next big, I guess, IT kind of related type of company. So there's still a lot of opportunity there. It's just in the beginning stages right now. So that could be an opportunity. There's others. Obviously, the usual stuff. People like to open restaurants, everything. So whatever you need, whether it's location, suppliers, or if you were to run your business, should be at home, should it be in your car, anywhere else, all that stuff could be answered in the Recession Business Blueprint. So there's the paperback version, and for all my books, there are also ebook versions. The ebook versions, if you have Kindle Unlimited, are free. Okay. Next, if you want to know more about me, I have this blog here. I'm a software engineer. I'm also an author. Hopefully in the future I'll be an influencer as well. And then you can explore my book page on Amazon. I have way more books than that. For example, one of my most popular books is the Mastering Blender Python API. There's also, if you need support, consultation services at jamboservices.com. And if you're ready to learn, or jamboshop.com for the online courses. And this is a comment form. The comment form stays up about 14 days after the article goes live, so you're free to type anything in there related to the topic. For example, today we did Sudoku, specifically Killer Sudoku. We talked about that the code was originally generated by AI, and then there was so many problems with it, which we did resolve today, as you saw, and got it actually working. So that's all perfectly fine for the comment form. But the best way to contact me is use the contact forms or jambo.com/contact or jamboshop.com/contact and or jamboservices.com/contact. And then if you want to follow me, these are the channels: Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. Okay, and if you're in a live chat right now, if you post a live chat, it will show up somewhere around here. As you can see, there's the usual Kick spammers. Always spamming my live chat. I might have to turn off live chat for Kick. Okay, so right, so let's scroll back up a little bit, and right here is fine. So if you want to see what's upcoming, we'll just finish this one today. So tomorrow we're doing something really exciting. Be sure to not miss that one. We're gonna use Z-Image Turbo to generate an HDR image. This is all going to be Comfy UI, and then after that. There will be another one where you can actually fine-tune the images into Luminous HDR. That's a separate application. So that's tomorrow's tutorial. The day after that, this was requested by viewers just like you. The difference between Podman and Docker, just a dedicated talk. It's a podcast just for that, just for you guys. And then the day after that, I'll show you how to self-host Open VPN on a Raspberry Pi Zero W. And then after that, we're going to use gdevelop and local AI to build a very simple game. Okay, so that's fun tutorials. And then after that, I'm working on something I haven't actually started, so I can't speak about it, but it will show up here. Hopefully today it will show up here. And then, yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so I don't see any chat requests, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this tutorial, and I'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. Bye now, have a great day.